Hello everyone, this is Dodo here and welcome to the first video on this channel. In this video I'll be taking you through a great $1,000 black and red themed gaming PC build. I'd just like to mention that this PC isn't going to get you the best gaming performance as a $1,000 build, but I believe that a PC isn't just about its gaming performance. Most people are likely to upgrade some components down the line, so it's really important to make a PC future-proof, and that's exactly what I've done with this build. Having said that, this is a gaming PC build, and it will be able to absolutely crush all the latest games at 1080p resolution, to the extent that it's a bit of a waste for 1080p, so if you do decide to build this PC, I would highly recommend that you pick up a Quad HD monitor. Alright, without wasting any more time, let's begin. For the CPU, I went with the i5 6600 from Intel. This CPU is a quad-core CPU clocked at 3.3 GHz, which doesn't sound too impressive on paper compared to some AMD CPUs like the FX 8350. However, what really matters is the actual performance, and I can assure you that the i5 6600 performance won't let you down. It will perform great in games and also should be able to handle video editing and some streaming. I'd also like to mention that this CPU is one of Intel's latest CPUs, which means that it will not only have increased performance but also run more efficiently compared to its predecessors. This CPU isn't overclockable, but overclocking doesn't improve gaming performance significantly, and having a locked CPU saves you from buying a third-party CPU cooler and an overclockable motherboard. In my opinion, you should spend about 20% of your total budget on a CPU when building a gaming PC, and the i5 6600 coming in at about $200, it's really the perfect CPU for this build. For the graphics card, I picked the R9 390 GPU from MSI. This graphics card ticks all the main criteria I look for in a graphics card. Performs well, looks good, and it's great value. This card will particularly shine in Quad HD resolution and will be able to max out most of the latest games with its insane 8GB of video RAM. If for some reason you really want to get an Nvidia card, you could get a GTX 970, which comes in at a similar price point as the R9 390, and the performance will be pretty much on par with the R9 390, but it only has 4GB of video RAM compared to the 8 found in the R9 390, and so it will struggle a bit in Quad HD, and mainly for that reason I would recommend the R9 390. For the motherboard, I picked the MSI B150 Gaming Pro motherboard. First of all, this motherboard looks amazing. MSI really did a great job with keeping the black and red consistent in this motherboard. Even the USB ports are red instead of blue. I'm also a big fan of the red LED lights they included on this motherboard, and they should do a great job in making your whole PC glow in red. Other than the aesthetics, the reason I picked this board is because it is quite future-proof. This motherboard is compatible with SKYLAKE i7s and will also be compatible with the next generation Intel CPUs. Also, the motherboard supports AMD Crossfire, which means you'll be able to run 2 of the R9 390 graphics cards at once, getting significantly better gaming performance. Overall, it's a very solid motherboard, and with its $10 mail-in rebate from Amazon right now, it's great value as well. As for the RAM, I went with 2 4GB sticks of DDR4 RAM from Ritual. Honestly though, the brand of the RAM doesn't matter too much, so you can choose the one you want, but make sure to purchase DDR4 RAM, not DDR3, since this build won't be compatible with DDR3. As for the amount, 8GB is currently the sweet spot for gaming. I'm aware that some games recommend 16GB of RAM, but trust me, they will perform fine with 8. But if you want to upgrade in the future, you can do so thanks to the 2 open slots on the motherboard. I'm using a pretty standard choice for storage, a 240GB SSD from Kingston for the speedy boot drive where you can store the operating system and some of your most played games, and I also included a 1TB hard drive for your bulk storage where you can store your music, movies, games, etc. For the case, I just had to go with the NZXT S340 case. This case, in my opinion, is the best case you can buy right now without spending too much. I actually use this case for my own PC and I can tell you that this case is amazing. Looks great, the build quality is solid, and the side window is also really nice. This case comes in white, black, red or blue, but I picked the black and red one to match the colour scheme of the build. Lastly, for the power supply, I chose the 600W 80+ bronze certified power supply from EVGA. It's a pretty standard but reliable power supply and is more than enough for powering this PC, but might not be enough if you want to run two R9 390s in Crossfire. So if you plan to crossfire another R9 390, you might want to get a more powerful power supply. But that about wraps up this build guide. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them down in the comments. I'll try and reply. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. And if you really liked it, make sure to subscribe. But this has been Dodo and I'm out. See you later.